Hollywood eye-catching adventure survival thriller movie based on true events in America. This story is inspired from the life story of a man named Aaron Ralston. We can only realize how valuable our life is when we realize that we are very close to death. Yes, I am talking about the Oscar-nominated and award-winning movie 127 Hours, released in 10 years. About the movie, director Danny Boyle has shown the depth of a man's strong desire to live in this movie. In bringing this horrific, perversely inspirational story to the screen, Danny Boyle has stayed true to Mr. Ralston's can-do spirit. His new film, 127 Hours, is itself the frequently dazzling and perpetually surprising solution to an imposing set of formal and creative conundrums. The stakes are not life and death, but rather life and art. Aaron went hiking in a remote and secluded mountain area. He met two girls on the way while hiking through the high and low places of the mountain. The two of them went on a journey and lost their way, and Aaron took them between two narrow mountains. The two mountains are so narrow that they have to climb over the two walls. Aaron then falls down the mountain, and the two girls who are with him scream in fear, thinking that Aaron is dead, but no, Aaron finds himself in a huge deep pool. After a while, Aaron said goodbye to the two girls and began hiking through the mountains, supporting himself on many rocks. At one point, a stone fell and got stuck between two narrow hills, and Aaron found himself with his right hand stuck in a rock and a rock. There is no way to move the stone blocked in such a way, because the weight of the stone was about 350 kilograms. Discover yourself once? How will it feel? 127 hours of survival fight from here. He has 350 ml of water, one meal, and a small stick. And how can one save oneself in such a situation? Ralston's date with destiny begins with horrible moment when he starts a very dangerous canyon climb and his arm gets jammed, immovably, under a colossal boulder. He is trapped. Food and water are running out. But Aaron has a small pocket knife with him and now faces some tough choices about what he will have to leave behind. By snapping his arm against the rock and sawing through the flesh with his knife, it should be possible to get out of there in most of one piece. 3.5 limbs out of 4 isn't bad. 127 Hours, a chronicle of accident and determination, is nearly flawless. Mr. Franco's goofball energy connects the viewer to the character almost instantly, and Mr. Boyle's speedy, jumpy style sends us out into the desert on a wave of caffeine and rock and roll. Aaron is hardly one for rapt Wordsworthian contemplation of nature. His romanticism, though deep, is sensual and hedonistic rather than quietly reverent. He wants to cover distances in record time with his headphones on and is happy to share his exuberance with whomever he happens to meet. Bumping into Christy, Kate Mara, and Megan, Amber Tamblyn, two young women who seem to be lost, he charms and perplexes them with his knowledge of their surroundings and his casual adventurousness. The breaking of a bone, the severing of a nerve, and the desperate ingestion of a water bag containing pee are just a few of the graphic images in 127 Hours. Yet the messages these scenes convey are well worth the slight discomfort or nausea. It is not a metaphor to suggest that this film gets under your skin. It makes you feel pinned down, jolted, and grateful for your life. The best effort of his life is to remove the hand because he has to return alive from here. The next day, he made a rope like a pulley and twisted it around the stone, and he tried to move the stone by hanging all his weight on the rope but failed. 6 days pass one by one, hungry, thirsty, tired body fighting for survival. He tried unsuccessfully to cut the stone bit by bit with the small stick he had with him because the stick was too small in size and it was impossible to work with the left hand while pressing the right hand. Aaron now decides to cut off his hand, but the stone has become so blunt that it doesn't even cut the skin. After all, he must be quite a man. The film deliberately doesn't make him a hero, more of a capable athlete trapped by a momentary decision. Finally, he cuts off his arm because he has to. He was lucky to succeed. One can imagine a news story of his body being discovered long afterward, with his arm only partly cut through. He did what he had to do, which doesn't make him a hero. We could do it, too. Oh, yes, we could. This is a must-watch survival movie that you should watch. Thanks in advance. See you in our next videos. After 5 days and 7 hours, spent trapped in a lonely corner of Utah's desert canyons, his right hand crushed and pinned beneath a dislodged boulder, amateur outdoorsman Aaron Ralston amputated his own forearm with a penknife so dull it could barely slice through skin. Despite this, though his portrayal of Aaron in this movie is nothing short of captivating, he does such a great job at showing not only the high points of the fight and human spirit, but also the low points of desperation and struggle. He is so in line with his character's emotions that they always translate to the audience and are a huge part of why this movie works so well.